Hello, my friend. Can't hear you. Now you froze. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, hello. Oh, unfrozen. Can't hear you though, so. Okay, we'll try again. Says 2 participants. Where is the other person? Okay, there he is. Submit.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can now. Yes, that's really strange. Okay, gotcha. Weird.
That was probably my end.
Fun stuff. Oh, actually, Zoom completely dropped out. It hasn't. My fourth Zoom call today, and it's been good. But anyway, you at home, or where am I finding you?
I am in the interior. Our family, we share a house in the interior, so this is where we home base. Given our locations are kind of right in the middle, so
yes,
yeah. Today's working from home day.
Every day is working from home day for me.
Yeah, it has been a lot lately for me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, my wife's working today in town, in the Lower Mainland.
Okay.
So taking care of the kids and working at the same time.
You're a good dad.
Yeah. Trying
so
to.
How are things?
Yeah, things are good, all things considered. Yeah.
It is a good word.
Yeah. What about yourself?
Really, I shouldn't complain. A lot of first world problems, but it's compared to a lot of businesses, we're in great shape. But because we were already virtual as a company anyway, I did have 3 people come. We have a workout basement. I had my whole office downstairs. This room is like a Starbucks. We had a big table, and everybody just had like a co-working space. That stopped mid-February, so everybody's working from home. So I upgraded a few webcams and laptops and stuff. But so we don't work physically very much together yet. But other than that, really hasn't affected us that much. Lost a lot of business, but gained a lot of business too. A lot of smaller clients really couldn't afford to do marketing because the physical premises were closed. But then a lot of our websites clients we had to literally rebuild them to e-commerce. So yeah, it's all good.
You do e-commerce, or you have somebody else do that for you, or?
We do that. Yeah. So like JD Farms, Jack Froese, the Langley mayor, he has a full bistro and deli cafe out on 248 there, and obviously they had to close, but they could still do curbside pickup. So we literally took the top 150 SKUs and made that into an online ordering program. So they went from zero to the day we opened the website, $3,500 of sales, just because like going to save on. So we created a Shopify program for that. So it took 4 or 5 weeks to build, which is fast in our world. Normally like a couple of months, but we've done multiple of those. I've done virtual orthodontic braces where people have been using the iPhone to take photographs and upload directly to an orthodontist, so you could send them Invisalign to keep things going by doing digital scans. Many different things that we had to flex to. It's fun. We had 14 different websites in production at the same time, which is unheard of for us.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, no complaints, and managed to keep everybody fully paid all the way through. I didn't have to cut anybody back or anything. So.
Yeah, that's one of the rares. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, it's like our world is definitely different. It's a lot of unknowns.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you've not had any support really, government-wise, have you? Yeah.
No. Yeah. So yeah, we're breaking even right now. We're not making money. We'll see what happens. I don't know. This industry is. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens to the care side of the industry. I don't know if I don't know if you and I will be having this conversation a year from now. If there's a lot of political pressure to get rid of for-profit, or in some cases non-government run places.
Really?
So yeah, it's
Really?
yeah. Well, our current government is, in particular, Adrian Dix. Does not like us at all. He's told that to me. He's told me that to my face, in personal conversations. Yeah. Actually, my conversation with him is why we ended up in Alberta, because I was having a meeting with him and Daniel Fontaine.
Branch out.
And this was in 2011, right before he lost the election he should have won. And
yeah, it was
he was the lead. Yeah, he was the leader at the time, and to his left was Mike Farnworth, and to his right was John Horgan. And I had a meeting with them, and Adrian Dix leaned over the table and said, "I don't like you for-profit people." And he went on to say he's going to do whatever he can to get us out of the industry.
Oh my gosh.
So now that he is taken this, what he's done is he's taken this opportunity to increase all the wages. So he's paying us, allegedly, he's going to be paying us so we can pay all our staff what the government pays them, which in effect completely negates the reason why we exist.
Yes. Yeah.
So because that's why, because we were able to do it cheaper. The government can't negotiate very well.
No.
So yeah, that's like, what's he going to do? Like, what purpose do we have? Like, every site is going to cost the government about $2 million more. And so they might as well just take them over if they're going to be doing
like a compulsory purchase kind of thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it'll be interesting, because I think the price tag will be a shock to them. But right now they can print money, so it doesn't matter.
And that's a scary thing. 18 billion in wage support so far. I mean, that's got to be paid back at some point, right?
Yeah, apparently not. Apparently
I mean,
not.
I know Canada's in the same boat as every other big country in the G20 or whatever, but at the same time, there comes a day.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. Where the money comes from. It'll just,
Wow.
yeah, there's lots of different theories out there, which you and I are probably not going to solve. So,
I mean, they seem to, in some ways, the NDP have seemingly managed BC quite well from a medical standpoint, but from a fiscal standpoint, yeah.
It's unknown. It's really unknown, actually. What they need to do, I keep saying that what they need to do is they need to get the money moving.
Yes, there's got to be stimulus. Yeah.
So anyway, we shall see.
Okay. So
We shall
I
see.
don't want to add to any pressure on your plate at all today. We love working with you. You're a major part of what I do, and really appreciate our relationship. I always have, always will. And just want to know what we can do best going forward. I know you asked the sort of my comments about what's working for us and isn't working for us, and we want to make it so that it's a win-win for everybody, obviously.
Okay, let's start with that. What's not working? Let's start with what's not working.
Well, everything's working.
For you, I
what,
mean. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things, Andre, that are not as good as they could be. Let's just say that. And I think some of it comes down to personalities more than anything else. It's not I mean, I had a conversation with Bob Sunday afternoon, while I'm driving through a Soyuz. I mean, it couldn't have been better with an absolutely horrendous review that Westside had gotten. I caught it within like 12 minutes. I spoke to Desiree. She got Bob to call me. We fixed it. Like, that is as good as it gets, right? 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon when I'm on vacation, I'm talking to the GM about this terrible review. We've done that many times. So that I own your brand from a very personal standpoint of protecting you guys. Your brand reputation means a lot to me. So it's not just marketing. It's not just selling units. It's, I care about you and your family, and I'm all in on making sure that you get the good press that you deserve. The two things that probably don't work as well is, I mean, of the 6 core sites, 4 of them we have fantastic relationships with, and 2 we don't. And it comes down to personalities. Shannon just seems to have a disdain for us and gives us lip service, but we never actually have a meeting with her, which is super interesting. And I know she has some Yellow Pages background, and I know she knows what she's talking about. And she had this idea for 3D rendering, and I got 3D rendering quotes for Vic, and it was a great idea, but it didn't go anywhere, which I was a bit sad about. Loy had an issue a week or so ago with a really bad review from the looked like an ex-employee, which I picked up straight away. Spoke with Loy about it. We were around, we had Google take it down within a day. So that was, that's the kind of relationship I have with each site. I don't get involved in Cedarwood's marketing one iota. I mean, we offer Shannon a call every month, and it just doesn't happen, which is kind of strange. So I don't have a lot of input into Cedarwood just because we don't talk. And I truthfully, I don't know why that is. Maybe she doesn't need us, doesn't want us. So that's not working as good as it could be. Vernon's different. I love how passionate Kim is about holding her own and growing it and wanting to learn. And there's almost been a little bit of 2 mother hens in the same hen house, between my Jamie and Kim, because Kim doesn't have the best way with words, and I'm being polite there. And it's gotten to the point that it was actually, truthfully, becoming a mental health issue for Jamie. Whenever she got an email from Kim, it was spiking her anxiety. And I said to her, look, don't worry about it. She cares about her business. It's just the way she writes. You take very personally. I've actually just had to put Jamie on sabbatical. She has an autistic child who's not done very well in this last few months, to the point that he really needs to be institutionalized. And they've got cameras in every room in their house now, and different door locks. And this poor 15-year-old he's not in a good place. He's suicidal. So I just had to, I'm not firing Jamie, but she hasn't been as available to me as I needed to. So yesterday we agreed that she just needs to take an indefinite time off work. And I've replaced her with somebody else called Kimberly, who actually is a mental health care worker. So I fixed that. And I think it'll be a different dynamic with Kim now. We've got a fresh face on our team. So they're just, I mean, we do well when our creative energy is in flow. When I'm talking with Jamie or I'm talking with Deborah and they have an idea, we put something together, we come back to them. It's a wonderful thing. And I love to do creative marketing around that. So I haven't got that dynamic quite as good with those 2 sites, but I'm okay. The one site, the one piece that I would love to have more input is Vic has a marketing call every month. And since September, he's had me make a presentation to the beginning of that marketing call. So I get about 10, 15 minutes to talk about a particular aspect of what we do each month. So I've done 6 or so now. And then he asks any questions, and it's radio silence. And it's like, I don't get why nobody has any questions. But then they have a 50-minute meeting that I hear about from the monthly calls from everybody else. It's like, I'd love to be in that call the whole time through. And I don't want to be being perceived as the enemy. You know, I believe that we're very conducive to your plans. And I'd like to actually be more involved than less involved on that call. But somehow it's almost like the headmaster's holding the class and everybody's sitting at the desk and the guest lecturer comes in, presents and leaves. And it's like, oh, but that doesn't seem to work as well. I don't get that two-way communication piece. And so right now I noticed, like last week, Kim did a post on Vernon about allowing people to come and visit. And I'm reading this post and went, did I miss a memo from Andrea? Because I don't know anything about this. So I wrote to Vic and said, did I miss something? He said, no, well, Hendrik's still discussing this with the sites. And well, Kim's already written about POAs and coming in and what to do. And I said, truthfully, I don't know what this is. And he said, no, we'll get it back to you. And then the last memo from Andrea Clark, which was what, Friday or so of last week, still didn't talk about visiting. And so I wrote to Andrea and said, have I missed a link? Because Vernon's telling everybody about how to visit, and I don't have any instruction on the websites for a blog about this. And she said, no, each site is supposed to be coming to you site specific about how they're going to allow visiting. And suddenly I'm feeling out of the loop on the power of attorneys and the visit piece. So that's the only pieces that I'm not, I mean, I care too much. I don't know if you can care too much, but I care enough to tell you what I think I need to know more about. And I would love to be more of that market. And we are a marketing agency, predominantly. That's what we do. We're a faith-based organization just like yourself, and we care about people. And I think in those two areas, we could actually be helping you more. And I don't know, Vic hosts a meeting. I mean, I know Sandy's part of that meeting as well, but it doesn't seem to be as fluid as a meeting as I think it could be. And I'd like to be more of a part of that if I wanted, obviously. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's it, really. Everything else I think is going good.
Okay. Interesting observation with respect to on a few points that I've noted. One of the things, it's not yet, how do I say this? I have been working with Vic on a number of areas of where his job is at. And I think that what's happened is we put him into a position where he's not near as successful as he could be.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Yeah.
And so we've communicated. This is, I think, only Hendrik and I know this. Maybe Robin and Sandy. Yeah, Robin and Sandy know this, but aside from us four and Vic, of course, we've had conversations with him about simply that, is where we don't have him in the right seat. Yeah. Wonderful person.
Yeah.
He is really he shines when he's on the site and actually there with people.
Yes, I've watched him when he was at Cedarwood. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's where we're looking at moving him more toward that sort of role. The marketing piece, like he has a decent handle on food services stuff and the hospitality stuff, like on the floor stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
But this marketing piece, which I still do think tie in with the hospitality piece. I really do think they still tie, but like I said to him a number of times, like there should be more about food on our websites. There should be more about food on our social media, because that's what people at that age particularly want to know about. Yeah. And I haven't seen anything of the sort. I pay attention for peripherally. Sometimes I join in I tell them I join in, but I don't say anything on the marketing calls. And yeah, anyways, I'm aware of those shortcomings.
Yeah. And there's
And
also some intimidation too on that call, 'cause I'm just totally being honest. When I spoke to Jamie the other day, Riggins, she said to me, I feel like an idiot compared to Shannon and Kim because I don't know what they know, and therefore I don't say anything. But I tell you, she is a diamond in the rough. I mean, she is more passionate about Deer Park than anybody about anything that I know of. I mean, she so cares, and she was in tears at her vacancy rate with me the other day. She said, we have 30 rooms empty, and she was crying. She said, and I can't do anything about it right now. Once I get people there and I show them what it looks like and they meet the people, I know I can sell it. I've done it before. I was on a roll and I lost it.
yep.
And that kind of person is worth everything. And yet she said on the marketing call, she said, I just feel intimidated, so I say nothing. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was going to have a very tough conversation with Kim last week, and I was hoping to have it this week, but her brother-in-law is palliative right now, and she can't go see him.
Oh, she
So,
canceled on me last week and she said it was a family emergency. It was probably that. Yeah.
yeah, she was ready to jump on a plane, but then didn't. So I don't. I'm going to be talking with Mark, who she reports to.
Yeah. My concern is she talks to me that way, and I can take it. But quite often, I work with a lot of clients. That translates into how the culture happens in the building itself, I'm sure.
Yep. Yep.
And that
Yep.
does worry me. And I've talked to Vic about that because Vic knows her from way back, because when
Yep.
she was under him, and he keeps saying, I have told Mark how to handle her and keep her down, and he doesn't do a very good job of it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I've got two minds. Number one, I could just say they're part ways. Number two is to take a totally different tact and say, all right, like, here's a project, or here's some responsibility. You have 6 months to make it work. If you don't, it's, this is it. So, but what I don't know is what I need to find out from Mark is what her communications formally have been in terms of feedback of her behavior. I hear a lot of this and that, but so
is there anything recorded?
Yeah, when I'm around, I have not seen what I've heard.
Oh, I'd say I've had Jamie in tears over conversations with Kim. And so much so that her emails actually were giving Jamie palpitations. And I said, this doesn't need to be this way. I said, you both care about the site. You're just coming at from very different ways. But she is a piece of work, let's be honest, unfortunately. And she's gone rogue on me with a couple of things. Like she got a realtor in to do a video, and I didn't know anything about it until it was actually on the Facebook page. And she created her own YouTube channel. And I've been trying to protect your brand and the branding, and then there's accounts that I can't access, so I can't do anything with. So then I took the video that she made and I captioned it for her, so it was much better. So I had subtitles, because we know about 80% of videos are watched longer and better if the subtitles. And we've had that up for a year on the homepage for the website. And then just 10 days ago, she emailed and said, who put these captions on the video? I did not request. I want this down immediately, and I want my original video up. I went, just hold on. It's been there for a year, and I did it for a good purpose. And I said, the industry spec is you caption video. We did it because that's the better way to do it. Nope, I don't like that. Take it down. Okay, I'll take it down. But yeah, that's a kind of dialogue we truthfully had. And it's, yeah. It's unfortunate, but I just hope. I mean, I've looked at a lot of the pictures of the hero's cart and stuff, and she seems to be having a lot of fun, giving out the ice creams and the coffees and stuff. She needs to know that marketing is not just her Facebook page, and there's so much more that we do that isn't just the Facebook page, because she doesn't like Jamie posting at all anymore now, and wants every single post sent to her to approve before we post, because she doesn't want to conflict with her photo updates. And it's like, we don't normally do that. We're trying to find local articles to. We love that you put photos up, but yeah, it's it's been very contentious for Jamie, for sure. Yeah.
So the issue that I have heard that's fairly consistent, I've heard it from Melissa in Red Deer as well,
Hmm.
is they really struggle with the generic posts.
I get it. There's only so much content out there, right, that we can find. And especially recently with a lot of the content that we would have shared about volunteering and going out and visiting and all those ideas, they're gone by the wall. And I don't want the Facebook pages just to be photographs of events, but we try to be educational. And it's deliberately my opinion, because your sales process is quite long. I mean, people could be looking at your location for several years before they decide to go there. And as much as I think it's important to have the community flair of what's going on inside, I've always seen H&H as leaders in the industry from an educational point of view. And we try and give a balance of a holistic sort of local events, plus industry trends, plus local flavor to give the page the maturity that most other pages don't have. And we do this as a policy across multiple sites. And I speak on a lot of forums at national conferences, and I speak with the best of the best when it comes to content marketing. And we are doing exactly what the biggest names in content marketing say to do. But from a local level, I can see why they may not feel it's as juicy as it could be, but there is truthfully only so much content to find that relates to your industry. And literally, I have people scouring news sites, local newspaper sites, obviously there's no events right now, to find content that we think would be interesting to an overall readership who are making a balanced equation around, is this location great for whoever it is that they're looking to locate into it? We can do less. I mean, I think it's the right decision. And I've consistently banged my drum that I think it's the right decision. But if they don't want it, I can change it. But I don't know if that would be the right decision. But I'm not going to go on my sword over it, sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. I think for me, admittedly, I don't spend any time on social media. My wife actually will tell me, "Hey, this is an interesting post," or "Did you know that this was posted?" I'm like, "No." I'm just not that. I just don't do social media.
No.
But that said, I get how important it is, and I
oh, it's huge. Yeah.
Truly believe that actually it's way more important than the website. And so I get that point. Like I'm not, just because I don't use it doesn't mean the rest of the world doesn't use it. Instagram, though, I would say if I'm watching, I'd be paying more attention to Instagram than Facebook.
Yeah. And Melissa's done that herself.
I do follow hers.
Site. It's not bad. And I've encouraged her, and we're personal friends on Facebook, and we message each other quite a bit. I really would like to have an Instagram account for each location. And that's going to be a lot of work, because Instagram is a different ball, and we don't want exactly what's on Instagram that's on Facebook anyway, otherwise there's no point in having the two. But Instagram generates itself much more on stories than posts, which are 24-hour stories. So to create stories, we need a lot of content.
So here's a thought that we could put some major stuff on Facebook and the generic posts on Facebook, but put more of the stories then on Instagram. Would that work? And because they do link, don't they? Do they not? Like, if you post to one
account, you shouldn't do that actually. It's because Instagram relies on hashtags for search. So, but if you do a Facebook post with 25 hashtags, it looks like it's from Mars. Whereas Facebook now, just last 2 weeks ago, actually encouraged Facebook posts actually have 3 core hashtags, as LinkedIn now does as well. So there is a little bit of hashtagging going into Facebook now. But Facebook stories are equally important. And in fact, business page Facebook stories are not as well used, and you actually get a lot more exposure. So if we were doing the story on Instagram, I'd probably still do it on the business Facebook story as well. But there's some work that we could do around that. And yeah, there's a lot. I presented on Instagram the last time I met with the marketing team, and good friend of mine. Her name is Jen Herman, and she is the world's leading blogger on Instagram and has been for the last 3 years. And a dear friend of ours. And I actually said to Vic, I would like to pay Jen to come and do an actual training for all of the CMCs and CMC, CRC. I'm getting my initials mixed up.
CRC.
CRC. CMC is a church event. People that I'm working with. CRCs. And I would like to do and actually start off with a really solid Instagram structure and training site by site. Jamie's totally up for it. Deborah's up for it. Kim created an account but never used it. Shannon created an account but never used it. So yeah, and I would think with Duncan too as an idea to sort of generate fresh eyeballs into that location, that would be a really good one too.
Yeah, Duncan can wait. The only thing that we need anything to do with social media and website or any online for Duncan is for staffing. We won't have a private pay resident move into that place until February.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So is that behind in the building, or is it going to be taken over?
It's behind in the building. A lot of it's because of COVID. But so I don't expect someone to move in until the new year.
Oh, because we had a meeting with Dave, and when we showed him the analytics of the website, he was getting major traffic way back in like February time. Stunning traffic for a 3-page website. So we really wanted to up that, but then
so that's just a conversation I'm trying to have with, like, you got to be careful what the numbers are telling you. The reason why is because it's a very politically connected community.
Well, yeah, when you emailed last week about the maid thing, I mean, that's shocking. Yeah.
So, I mean, we paid a professional to help us with our messaging on the maid. I did talk to her about putting anything online, and she suggested not, because it's just gonna attract attention. So yeah, we're going to, because we have that statement on our website about the sanctity of life. That in itself will dictate. Now, I mean, we've got people protesting outside, walking in front of our building right now.
No way.
Yeah, well, because they just it's very, very, very socialist area, and they just don't want anything but the government to do this work. So there's a huge push.
And yet they RFP'd it, and you applied, and they wanted someone to come and do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, the health authority has said, look, let us deal with it, and so we said, okay, fine. So they're dealing with it. Their media people are watching it and whatnot. So
yeah, sure. Okay.
The only thing that we need to do right now is just to focus on staffing.
Okay. Sure. Because he was originally told me that he needed people in place for August, right? And they were going to be training already, I think.
We have made a lot of commitments to people. We paid close to $200,000 to put 16 people through schools just to work there. And yeah, they're going to be ready to work August 4th, but the building will not be ready. But nevertheless,
can you move them to the interior or something? Put them up on?
We're working on that. Yep. That's exactly what we're trying to do. Yeah. So, and that'll be a story, I suppose. What I appreciate is anytime I hear that you guys do protect the branding, because sometimes, like, I hear from Kim and Shannon that they want to do everything online, but I do appreciate someone's going, has the experience and the knowledge to say, yeah, that's not gonna fly very well, or if we're gonna try that, let's try the small or whatever. I don't know how to deal with the Kim and Shannon right now. So what I'm trying to say, long story short, is we have to figure out how we're going to move ahead, assuming that we don't have those factors.
Okay.
And we'll have to deal with those as they come. I loathe being this way, but with those two, I may just have to be subtly dictatorial.
Yep.
I do
Yep.
like the Instagram training, by the way. I think that's what that group needs. I also wouldn't mind a training session on why we do generic posting.
Yep. I can do that. I mean, I have spoken about it several times, and obviously it's not resonating.
Well, I
Yeah.
think the problem, yeah. Well, long story short, you're probably looking at the person who's going to be starting the marketing meetings and starting in September.
Okay, excellent.
That's most likely what's going to happen.
Love that. Yeah. And Vic, as you say, is a wonderful guy, but he's not necessarily in the right place for that piece.
Yeah,
He's not been well either, has he?
No. He is now recovering quite well.
Great.
So, but yeah, it didn't help. Yeah, he didn't have the energy.
I feel like sort of burdening him with bad stuff. So I would try and pick up the phone and call direct. I mean, I copy him on certain things that I think he needs to know about, but I haven't. I copied him on the review on Sunday afternoon, and typically I wouldn't use Facebook Messenger to do that, but I figured I ain't going to get any response to Monday, and I'd like to know what's going on today.
Yeah.
So I did copy him, and I know he read it, but then when on the email it said he's away till the 27th. I went, crap, I should have left him out of the loop because he's probably just needing some R&R. So yeah.
Yeah, he needs to take a break before his next chapter.
Got it.
Which is just so you know, like, again, this is private, but
Totally
is dependent on his health.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly which.
You've had a few people fall around you with health issues because Joanne was the same, right?
Yes. Yeah, we still don't know what happened to her. I mean, there's lots of theories, but
so good at what
yeah,
she did too.
Yeah, she was good, but she wasn't very good with people either.
Oh, really?
So
that's a big part of it.
Yeah, she just worked at a pace and at a level that if you couldn't keep up, good luck. So she burned herself out, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Speaking of which,
seems to be a good job though, right?
Yeah, yes. Although Sarah has people issues, but for a different reason.
Right. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Sorry. Speaking of which,
we were hoping, like, I haven't looked, but have the bios changed? Like, I guess one of the things that I look forward to interacting with you more is being able to continually communicate where we are and where our heads are at.
Yes. Yeah. In terms of the bios, we did Vernon as a demo, and we did Penticton as a demo, and then Vernon was next. But I have yet to receive any bios or pictures from Vernon, and we've asked for 4 months straight now. So. And people said, we don't really want the head office staff on that. I mean, I get that, but people still need to know the personalities. And I remember somebody saying that she expected to walk in and see Hendrik, when she was having her interview. It might have been Melissa because he was on the website. And I said, well, no, but I think personalities do make a difference from a Chartwell sort of conglomerate to an actual family-owned business. But I have not been able to get bios or photographs from anybody other than Penticton. And then we may have gone the other way where Penticton had too many people on it, but that's specifically what they asked for. So I let them have what they wanted. And Vic thinks there was too many. And I went, I can take them down. Just tell me who don't you want there? But I haven't been able to get anybody else to give me anything yet. But maybe if it came from you and you said they need these bios within a month, I'm sure we'll get them.
Well, it's now going to be that way. Our desire is our desire. We switched a year or two ago that we want the GMs to be the face of the building, with us behind them, of course.
Yeah, I agree.
Because as we continue to grow, there's no way that Hendrik, for instance, could be at all interviews. Like he used to be, but there's no way that could happen.
No.
And this way, it also gives the person a sense that if they have an issue, is a sense that, yeah, like this is the person who can actually do something about my issue, my complaint, whatever.
Totally. Yeah.
We do get involved. People do find us. And all I'm saying is I don't want that to be hidden. It's just the first face they should see is the general manager and the DOC, and probably, I suppose, the community relations coordinator or the CRC, because that's the person that they should talk to if there's any inquiries, etc.
Yeah, and they were probably the first contact when they came in the building anyway for a tour or something, perhaps as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, it's really important that we don't lose sight that staffing is just as much a use or a tool that we need for social media, and
Yes. Yeah.
and it's now starting to happen in Surrey as well. We're starting to see staffing shortages in the Lower Mainland now.
Really. Yeah.
So
I did have a plan for that. It was part of the proposal. I spent a long time researching with Vic. Was that blue box on the homepage of Google now, which is a conglomerate of Indeed and Glassdoor and all these that Google tries to compartmentalize to make it easier for search.
yeah,
We're pretty sure we could get you in that blue box without being
okay.
an Indeed.
That would be awesome.
It's gonna be a lot of work. And what I'd like to redo is rebuild the Hamlets.ca site as more of a recruitment come overview site. And really, because you need a site for Google to index for recruitment. And if we try and dribs and drabs at around 8 locations, we don't get the weight. But I do think, and I'm going to put my best shot on it, I think I can get you into that blue box alongside, and then you wouldn't be paying for Indeed, which is quite a lot of money. And when we did the math with Vic and worked out what the Indeed, he didn't know that different sites had different Indeed accounts even. He thought it was just one central one. So when we did a lot of digging into that, I really do think we could do that.
That would be nice.
I think it's possible.
That would be nice.
And
I mean, right now it's a weird world. Right now it's a weird world, of course.
Yeah.
But to be ready when things start changing, that would be great. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So the BIOS is what I'm hoping for there is they will have like the who we are or whatever about us, like there will be a link to the ownership and the higher level. We need to get Joanne off that website if she hasn't been already.
I don't believe she's anywhere on it.
Someone just mentioned to me the other day, it was like just a few days ago, it was like, are you not going to take Joanne off and put Sarah on? And I didn't go and look. So
I mean, I've got 8 sites to maintain. I know Vic got me the other day and he said there was something way out of date and it was on Evergreen. I went, I don't touch Evergreen. We rebuilt the website into a new WordPress theme 3.5 years ago. I haven't been back since. So, well, it's out of date. I'm with you. It's just not, it wasn't on my radar. So we did do some upgrades to Evergreen a couple of weeks back. And I know the manager there, when I met her in Penticton, was really keen to do some work with us. And I gave Vic some prices, but I never heard back on any of that. So
yeah, that's partly me. That's partly me because the problem, what happens is what I'm trying to get everyone to focus on is what their priorities are. Penticton has got a priority of needing to find staff. Evergreen's priority is they need to improve what's happening on the site. So
right, yes, yeah.
Websites aren't going to fix that. So
no.
Don't focus your energy on that. Like just the priorities. Yes. Like you can't do all the shotgun stuff. It doesn't work.
No. Yeah.
It sure would be nice to have this, and this, but you got to focus on what your priorities are. Get that dealt with, and then move on to the next.
Yeah, this is great intel for me because I don't hear that from Vic, so that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, because again, we didn't have them in the right spot. So, anyways,
so good.
So going forward, I will. I was going to take. Oh, the other one is the other idea that was floated out was a YouTube channel. It's interesting you said that Kim had one. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But
We
I
do have
stumbled.
a Hamlets YouTube channel. We do have one centrally.
Okay, but we're not using it.
Well, we have 2 videos that I made, well, 3 videos that I made for you on it, but that's the only video content that we've created. I did get a killer price to come out around the locations and redo videos for each location, and would still love to do that. And I think we're within a month, we'll almost be at a wash with save money on Google AdWords to cover that cost if you'd like to do that. But yeah, it would be good to have a video per location.
There's a lot of requests for that. The problem is that everyone's got a different opinion of what that's supposed to look like.
Well, we have 90 seconds, so there's only so much. I mean, people need to see the outside of the location, what the lobby looks like, what the rooms look like, what the food services look like, what the recreation looks like, and some quick views of what it looks like inside. That's 90 seconds in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's now there's that, and then there's also the attraction of the staff as well. So
yes, there is, and I know when I made Penticton, and then we made Westside, and then Hendrik wanted it for a recruitment fair. We didn't have any people of any particular ethnic minority, so we came and filmed then at Evergreen just to get other ethnicities into the video, especially because obviously there's different demographics for Penticton and Westside, but there's a lot more that we could do with that. So I'd quoted Vic on a video for each location, and then an overall one just for marketing as just an umbrella Hamlets brand, and then a one specifically about what it's like to work for in the healthcare industry with the Hamlets. So that was the 9 videos that we proposed to him, and then using the footage from the other ones to put into that. I think that would be very powerful.
So what I would like to do with you is to have a separate conversation just on videos.
Sure thing.
And I think understanding what the costs would be for all those, and then making the decision with respect to those AdWords.
Yeah. Because we'll be at the end of this month. Sorry, we'll be at about $17,000 in a fund, which was allocated for Google AdWords. So
yeah, I just I guess the question is, do we start going hard on that now? I mean,
weather-wise, yes, because we don't want to get into snow season, and it's much nicer to film when it's not burnt and it's sunny, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's for the video. I'm thinking about just the marketing push.
Oh yeah, possibly not, but it'd be good to get the footage.
Yeah, I hear you, but those are 2 different issues for me.
Got it.
That's what I'm thinking about. I just, with this whole COVID thing, you'd hate to spend a whole whack of money and then 2 months down the road, everyone starts locking up, and that's you're just money you've just given away.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, that video you sent me from the interior of the people outside the buildings giving video testimony about what it's like for mom and dad inside the building, that was very powerful.
Who did that?
There was a couple of homes on the island that you sent me links to.
Oh, was it Trillium?
A couple of months back. I don't remember. I could go back and look, but they were great. And I did think if we could get the CSEs to arrange for some families to be at the building, even outside when we were filming, and we got those testimonies outside the bedroom or whatever it was, that they would be super useful.
Yeah, those won't be hard to get.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Penticton for sure. I think we've got 1 or 2 in Kamloops that would be very, very good. Yeah, and in Alberta for sure.
Yeah, because those CSE, they know they're good people, and it wouldn't be hard to get them lined up and get them in front of the camera and make them feel comfortable.
Okay, so what I would like for us to do is have that conversation in a few weeks.
Sure.
There's a few things that need to happen. I need to know what direction we're going in and a few things. So But I would like to have that conversation with respect to the videos. So we can plan that out. I would like for myself to give you a contact person, one person from us. There won't be me, but that knows what kind of looking for and can work with you.
That'd be great.
So there we'll have to have a chat just to do with videos.
Yeah, sounds great.
I do know that needs to happen, and
that will make a huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so and then websites. I've received a few comments recently from various different people that our websites have not addressed COVID very well. And two things is, one, it's not very noticeable, apparently. And again, I haven't gone on the websites.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, I got no direction on what to do with this, other than I got a memo from Andrea one day, and I said, "What is this?" And then Vic said to me, "Oh, we have a COVID team now." And I said, "I'll be a part of that if you want. I'll help you with the messaging piece. I'll happily sit in on it." But my offer wasn't taken up. And then I was just getting random emails from Andrea saying, "Please post this today." And I got one at 5 o'clock on a Friday. And I was like,
yeah,
okay,
they always come out on
a
Fridays.
little bit of notice that I was knowing that they were coming would be great. But I haven't had a conversation with anybody saying this needs to be front and center, make this like the be all and end. So I've kept it fairly low key, but I could make it quite different. But I've been
I like
out
the
of
way
loop.
that Trillium has done theirs. Did I send that to you, or did I send that to Vic?
No, I haven't seen that.
So they've got, like, you know how you have your website, and then some websites have this whatever kind of show up in front of it.
Yeah, pop up. Yeah.
And basically says, look, we're taking care, like, this is what we're doing COVID wise. That is super helpful. And then people can link in to see what our memo looks like, but they don't need all that detail.
No,
they just want a few words. Yeah, we're open. Yeah, we've got no cases, blah, blah, blah. I really like what Trillium did.
Okay, I haven't seen that, but we can create we time it so it comes up 3 seconds after they arrive on the website, so it's not in your face immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what theirs does too. They've got a really nice website. I really
someone
like
scrolls down the screen and stuff.
Yeah. If you take a look at them, yeah, I like them. They're that website.
They're on the island?
Yes.
I don't know them as a group, so I will do some research, because it's always good to see what other people are up to.
Agreed.
Trillium Health Partners, is that it?
Can't remember what they are called. No. Trillium. I'd say I'd write in Trillium and then retirement.
Okay. I don't think that is it. Okay. Bevan Village, Trillium Communities, Victoria, Trillium Lodge. Yeah. Trilliumcommunities.com. They have one in Abbotsford. Oh, yeah. COVID's popped up. Video of the locations. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, the one in Abbotsford, we used to run that one, actually.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, many moons ago.
Non-stock photos too, which I love. Which we just
it's a great website. But I looked at that and I went, wow, that's nice. That's well done.
Oh yeah, I like it too. Yeah, we could the navigation bar disappears when you're scrolling. We like to keep it at the top so it's always there. Look at all those locations. Whoa.
Yeah,
I like the way they do
locations. I've noticed what a lot of people do is they name their buildings differently, but it's on the same piece of property.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So like if we had our assisted living and our care, we would name our care one thing and our assisted living, but it looks like they're bigger than they are.
Leave your worries behind, leave the details to us, and then it shadow boxes. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'll look at that. Yeah. We didn't spend a lot of money rebuilding these websites. If you remember, we did it on like a $3,000 budget just to take what Daniel had built years ago and just get them into WordPress so they were much more mobile friendly. We didn't put a lot of money into the design or the build other than taking them over, and I've been updating them, but they definitely could do an overhaul. And I'd allowed for that 2 hours a month in this year to give it all of that sort of extra attention and so on. Yeah.
So my question is, I just wonder how important websites are.
Well, from a Google perspective, huge, because that's what's indexed to get us those page one positions. You don't get the page one position by having a great Facebook page. You do a little bit with a YouTube channel, actually, but you have to have a lot of subscribers for it to make a difference. So for search, it does make a difference. But in terms of people picking up the phone from search, we're actually finding now a lot of people are getting in touch with the sites via Google search without even going to the website. Remember that graph of all the phone calls and so on each site was getting?
Yeah.
That's before they even got to the website. So we do a lot on Google search as well as Google Webs, as well as your own website to feature that. But you have to have a great looking website. But it's probably not the be all and end all of marketing that it used to be, for sure.
Yeah, that's my general feeling. So that not spending a lot on websites is probably mine. But having the COVID thing, I can't remember whose I went on. I found myself getting to the COVID thing, and then all we got was this memo, and I was like, oh,
that's the first conversation that someone's had with me about what to do with it, because I just got the default memo I thought, well, where is this coming from? I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And I
think we need to brag about. I think we need to brag about the fact that, I mean, Hendrik has done a great job with that. We call it the rapid response team, and he's done a great job with the communication and making sure, you know, the directions we've taken are communicated well. There's consensus, etc.
Certainly, whenever we post, the gratitude that we get on Facebook from people thanking us for looking after loved ones has been huge, and we've been saving all of those for marketing purposes because they've just been so good. Yeah, I can work on that for sure. We can definitely put that plugin in.
Okay, so and then the last thing is, what do you need? I understand that. What do you need with respect? Because Vic said he sent me, which is quite possible, sent me a proposal from you, and that he was going through. Where is that at? So I could pick that up.
It's nowhere. I wanted to send it to him straight after Penticton, but suddenly COVID happened, so I just took a bye. But I sent it to him third week of April, and he and I have gone through it in detail, and he said he was sending it to you for you to go in detail, but I had no conversation. So I've been out of contract effectively since February 1st, which is a little disconcerting. I mean, I just like to know where I'm at, but I don't think there's any issue. But it's quite similar to the previous one. There's a couple of things there's a number of recommendations that I want to do different. I'd like to put live chat into the website. So what we can do now is if someone's on the website and the CRC has some time and they're sitting in the office, they can actually watch somebody on your website, which page they're on, what they're reading, and if they're staying there, we can actually have a pop-up box saying, hey, this is Kim. I notice I'm a real person. I'm not a bot. I notice you're on your website. Do you have any questions? And we have the technology. It's not super expensive to do that per site, and then we can turn it off when they're not there. Whereas before with the messenger chat box on Facebook that they had, there was no way of regulating the hours. So if somebody either had to be there or not be there, but we've now found a better way to do that. And we've demoed it recently, and it's fantastic. And it's a little creepy for some people that, you know, what do you mean you know I'm on my up? But we do it in such a way that it's very, very confronting. But we've had really good results from live chat on the website. So I'd like to put that in. I talked to him about the blue box for recruiting. I talked to him about adding 3D renderings to the websites rather than the flat drawings. And it's very low cost for each of these pieces. And then just a small budget each month to work actually on the website enhancements every month, because we didn't actually allow for that last time. All we allowed for was updating the calendars, which we're not getting much calendars updates anymore. And I also wanted to upgrade your server to a better server, so we're stronger and faster. And that was like $10 a month or something like that. So altogether, with all the extra pieces that we were talking about, it was about $300 a month more. And I know you want to be spending more money right now if you're only breaking even, but that was the recommendations that we'd put into it, and just how we do it. So that I have one dedicated member of staff who's just working for the Hamlets, and me, and just wanting to actually get more involved in the messaging piece than we have, recently. This year's been a lot better, but the previous years, I mean, a lot of times I had nobody to talk to at all. I had to make it all up, and we're so much more than we used to be. But I still see, especially with Instagram, a lot of room for more. Yeah.
Okay, so what I usually expect from a VP is that I get a Cole's Notes version of a contract.
Right. I had it third week of April, so yeah.
Yeah, and he did send me the whole proposal, and then with a little email blurb in front of it, but that's so it prevents me from being very efficient.
Okay.
So
basically, it's the Cole's Note is it's as is, but Instagram, live messenger chat, better hosting, better written blogs, less generic and more specific to like what Apex has done, or the Hamlet's Heroes Coffee Cart, and writing blogs much more specifically rather than just SEO general. So allowed a little bit of extra budget for that. And also, just looking at it here, I've allowed for 2 hours a month per website. So by the end of the year, each website's had 25 hours of upgrades. So there's no extra cost for the design elements, but I just allowed for some web time each month to actually update. So by the end of the year, they're going to be incredible.
So is it one of the things that I've mentioned to Vic before, and it is how I like contracts is I like them to be less input driven and more output driven.
Okay.
So that's the lens that when I will review it probably next week, I will be looking at how can we make this more output driven as opposed to input. Like you say you put 2 hours in, yeah, but that, I mean, what am I getting for those 2 hours? I mean, I could get a ton, or I could get very little. Like
yeah. The likes of the staffing page. I mean, that was never in the sort of a line budget to create those about pages for the individuals, and we did it for Penticton as a beta project, just to show what it could look like. The likes of when we did the contact us page with a green button on the homepage was the form and to the left one sort of by the CRC. That was probably a $3,500 development. I didn't charge you for that. I covered that myself to help. So development pieces like that, which are really strong, would be included in that small 2 hours per month.
Okay. But yeah, anyways, that's the lens that I'll be looking at it.
Yeah. The other thing I would say too is that we may not need to spend all the money that we have on Google AdWords anymore. So there's a potential saving there. I was spending it all, predominantly between Red Deer and Deer Park and a little bit of Westside every month because I had it to spend. I don't know if we need to because we're so strong anyway.
Yeah.
And if we could probably save some money on that ad spend.
Is that recommended in the proposal?
It's not. But as I did this proposal early COVID, now when I look at how we're featuring on Google, which is much better. Having said that, there is a lot of money coming from Google towards ad spend. Some of my clients are getting like $350 a month AdWords credit from Google. So, but you only get it if you spend it. So we might get even more. But I don't truthfully know. I guess like if I speak to some of the sites, like we're fully staffed, we're doing great. Well, we don't need to spend any money, and they're happy for like, let's just say Penticton's budget to go to Deer Park. But I could probably do what I need to with Deer Park's budget anyway, truthfully, because we're very good at AdWords now. So we got $3,500 a month for AdWords spend. I don't know if we'll need all that because I'm not advertising on Facebook at all, as are another 750 million other businesses. But we do, yeah, and they changed Facebook recently. So you can actually go to the homepage and you can see every ad campaign that that company is actually running from the Facebook page. So Home Depot had like 743 campaigns. And in the same month, they donated $15 million to Trump and ran 743 campaigns with Facebook. Whereas Lowe's donated $18 million to Black Lives Matter and did no Facebook ads in the US. And the story between Lowe's and Home Depot was remarkably different. And I think Lowe's won because they recruited like an extra 30,000 people during COVID. So I think Lowe's
It's
has
so
done very
dumb.
well.
The target market, if they're looking for, like, see, that's the logic. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if you know who you're hiring, you're not hiring upper middle class people. You just aren't.
No, it's interesting, isn't it? But yeah, I think we could save money there. So realistically, I probably would say at this point, we may not even need, well, we could probably stay as is cost-wise and do everything that we need to do just by saving some money on the AdWords campaign and still get you everything else. And I think I'll have enough money in the video project to pay for all the videos without it costing you anything by the time we get to it. So,
well, that's good.
That sounds
news.
pretty good.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'll review that contract.
Sure.
And if I think that we need to have a conversation, we'll set up another meeting. Are you taking any more time off this summer?
No, I a little bit here and there, but not anything. I've got nowhere to go. I did a week in the interior and it was great, but yeah, I know where to go.
Okay.
So
I still haven't figured out when I'm taking time off yet. So I'm hoping
we have a timeshare in Kelowna, which we switched for a place in Fairmont Hot Springs, which actually wasn't that great a town to be in, but it was a great base to venture from. And we did Jasper and Lake Louise, and we had some wonderful road trips. Just my wife and I, and we ended up not even going back to the hotel that timeshare. We just did some motels along the way and did 4,000 kilometers last week, but it was great.
Wow. I've been to Alberta twice in the last month, and I've driven both times.
Yeah.
And so every time I drive through, I'm like, oh, I should just stop.
Oh, Lake Louise especially. We hiked right up to the top. It was stunning. And we got an amazing. No, actually not at Lake Louise. I mean, I'm terrible with mosquito bites, and my wife is immune. I'll get 20 bites and she'll not even get touched. But Lake Louise was okay, funny enough. But no, we had a great time. We did Fort Steele near Cranbrook, which I'd never been to, which we really enjoyed, and just found all these small towns I always see on the weather map, but never been to. So
yeah. Oh, I want to do the same thing.
Yeah, and motels are cheap right now. And family rooms, I mean, you can get 6 people in a family room for $125, including breakfast right now. It's not big money. Yeah.
Okay, so I will get in touch with you. My phone is buzzing. So
okay,
I appreciate the conversation and understanding now where the contract is, and I'll get that moving forward. I apologize it's been that long. I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get that sorted out. And so this is just a call just to say, hey, look, this is where we are. This is how I
appreciate that.
We're moving forward. I think Vic is still going to be doing the next call with the marketing team. I will likely jump on it. Depends on when we're announcing, which depends on his health. So
sure, yeah. We missed out on the last call. Lindsay was supposed to do it for me, and she was on a holiday for a week. I was on holiday. We crossed over. Somehow she missed my request because we're now. Have you ever read the book Story Brand by Donald Miller?
No.
It's the biggest book in marketing probably in the last 3 years, and
that's one thing I don't read is marketing. I read a lot of staffing stuff, a lot of leadership stuff, but not marketing.
Yeah. Story Brand is the biggest shift in web-based marketing probably in years. Amazon, American Express, Chase, they've all adopted Story Brand. It's by a thought leader guy, Donald Miller. I'll happily send you the book if you want it. But we invested.
I would love it. I would love to read it.
I'll get it to you. We invested in Lindsay, actually become a Story Brand guide, as they're called. It's $15,000, and she did her training in Nashville, but it's a very different way of telling a story on a website. It's very progressive. It's all about story, which you have so many of. And the websites we build now, typically our website build is about a $15,000 build, but they are getting incredible conversion and all around. I'll send you the book. You'll love it. Are you a reader or an audio person or a Kindle?
Mostly reader.
Okay, I'll just have it sent to the office, or do you want it sent to an address? Or
depends.
it'll come from Amazon, so.
Oh, I can get it myself then.
No, it's my pleasure to send it to you.
Well, what I've done is well, it's slow, but I'm trying to get like a reading club going. So I've done that with a number of books. I've noticed that non-business books work better. The most popular book that people are reading is Why We Sleep, and yeah, it's a really good book.
This guy is a great storyteller. So it is a business book, but it's really about the value of story and how he's brought it into his business. He and his wife, he was a former pastor. Great story. He lost almost all of it. He did 2 New York Times bestselling books, made a lot of money, almost lost it all overnight in a deal, and had to recover from it and licking his wounds and started over. And it's a great read.
How about this? If I really like it, then maybe we can talk about figuring out how to get the you can help out getting the other marketing groups or the other CRCs to read it as well.
I can do that. I'm very good at that. Yeah.
So I will order that.
Okay.
I'll order it myself.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Story brand. There's a smaller version called Marketing Made Simple. It's a bit too simple, but the actual book Story Brand by Donald Miller is the one to buy. Yeah.
I was looking for something to read soon anyway, so.
There you go. Highly recommended.
Yeah, I'm just finishing halfway through a book called Compassionate Leadership.
Oh, cool. That's not by Barry Slough, is it?
No, two ladies, definitely feminists.
Okay, because Barry's just written, but he was a president of Compassion Canada. I thought that wasn't different.
Oh, okay. That's Compassion Canada is different. This is actually a different form of leadership that infuses compassion. So
I like it.
Yeah, these ladies are not Christian in whatsoever, but
And that's okay.
They could be pastors.
Love that. Yeah, some of my most respected business colleagues are not faith-based people, but their ethics and their integrity is excellent. And you just think, you should be, and then I know a lot of Christians like,
you should be. So true. So true. All right, I appreciate your time, and you'll hear from me in the next few days.
Anytime.
Yeah. And we'll probably have more of them.
Look forward to it. Yeah. Thanks, Andre.
Thanks, Jonathan. Bye.
Bye.